Hello there, aloha, and good day to you all. This is all good things and all good time. Thank you for watching. Obviously, it's not the best time, but there are some good things. Anyway, for the first time ever, I have some organized thoughts and an approach, and we can kind of call this the first of many. This will be an update, although it's more of an update of what I'm gonna do, because I have not really, I've just been a bum in my little cocoon here at the resort, where they give us 3 meals a day. There's no television. There's a little bit of someone to talk to here and there, but mainly myself and most people unless they're with somebody or their roommate. In some cases, people fled with their roommates and best friends, and they're like these two girls that are my new friends. They fled the same house with 2 cats and a mom, and they're sticking together right there in the same room. Whereas when I go to my room, I just I just spin. There's just a lot of thoughts that many of which you'd rather not have. So. And that's the case for everybody. There's just a lot of spontaneous crying that just doesn't seem to end. Anyway, so that's the goal. I'm about to walk down. I just started to walk down the beach. I saw this spot, looked like a good spot, but I'm gonna walk down and see where I worked. I should do a video from where I once looked off into the distance at work every day, because it's kind of a great spot. You can see all the way down. You can see the surf break on the point, and you can see Black Rock behind me. That's Black Rock right there. Notice there's nobody jumping off of it, and there are 3 people on the beach in sight. So there's just so many aspects of this that are unreal. They're surreal. They're weird. They're sad. But yeah, it's a trip. Anyway, it's all very strange. So. It's like the Twilight Zone in some ways, right? So yeah, I plan on looking around Kaanapali Beach, driving around the resource centers, getting some stuff, starting my interview process. I'm starting interviewing people who are victims, and like I said, many of which I've been going through this process with together. I'm going to get back to exercising like I need to. I'll go visit some friends. And I need to start applying for assistance. Everyone else seems to be better at that than me. I haven't done that at all. It's not something I'm used to doing. It's not something I'm comfortable doing, but I got to do it. So unemployment, I guess United Way might have something for us. I don't know. Anyway, supposed to get my first little bit of help. A check's supposed to come to my ex-wife's house for $700 from FEMA. So that's cool. It's the beginning of, but yeah. Not that I deserve to have been given assistance or whatever, but that'll be the first money I get or whatever, which is cool. And I'm very thankful and happy. This is being put up at a hotel is amazing. Of course, someone voiced the concern, how long is this going to be here? They might just as easily put us in a tent and say that's housing or whatever. So maybe, well, we're hoping to stay here 8 months if that's what it takes. Maybe we'll only have 8 days or 8 weeks. We just don't know, which is weird. It'd feel better if we kind of knew a little bit about our future as people in this situation. But it does look like, there's all these organizations that are going to try to help us put our lives back together. Of course, the big concern is all the people all over the island who just lost their jobs too. I mean, the restaurant I work at just closed forever. Oh, yesterday or the day before. So my son and I are actually now out of a job. The building's still there, but it's gone. So that's kind of gives me a different future, and a different imagined future, as I imagine just going back to work once things got going again. So yeah, thank you for your help. I've been trying to do the right thing, do right by you, and I've got a couple 20s in my pocket looking for someone who's desperate, because man, when what if like all your money burned up, or you don't have access to your bank account if you have money in the bank, or you know, and you lost your car and your home and all your possessions, and you just have the thing on your shirt on your back. Like, it could be a lot worse. I'm lucky to have a car. Lucky to have your help and support, and your words are wonderful. Thanks for the kind words. All that stuff's pretty therapeutic. I tell you what. I mean, it's really. I feel like that's why I can go pretty long periods of time without breaking down and crying. Anyway, okay, let's not think about that stuff. Okay, so I got a few things I want to go through. I've decided a criteria. I'm going to tell you a lucky story, a funny story, or a joke. An idea that'll save the world, like if I was the president, and then something about Hawaii, okay? And then in the future I'll have actual information about an update on what's actually going out on the streets. Funny how Biden was here. Yeah, he looks just like he stutters a lot, but he was a stutterer before he got really old, so you know, you got to remember that about him. He's a stutterer as a kid. So now they're just getting old, you know. I mean, he's stuttering a little bit. But, you know, he's faithful to his wife and to his country. So God bless him. All right, lucky story. This is a long story. Anyway, so this is a crazy story. It's an amazing story, and it has an amazing ending. I was riding my bicycle across the United States the first time. Before that, Stephen Seaweed at KRQR, the rocker in San Francisco, had said, call in on the radio. So I said, okay. So that was already going. And then he got me into the morning show guys' celebrity miniature golf tournament. The Lobster had a celebrity, and some of the celebrities that were there was Starship, okay, the band. And one of my friends in my foursome had one of Craig Chiquiso, the guitar player's old guitars, right? So he brings the guitar. We get it signed by Craig Chiquiso. It's a purple one in one of his videos. My friend Ben Shelburne, rest in peace. It was his guitar at the time. Wherever that guitar is, it's got Craig Chiquiso's signature on it. And this is the story of how that got there. Anyway, so I get into this tournament, and they're there, and we're talking, and they're like, hey man, while you're on tour and we're on tour, we should hook up. I'm like, oh yeah, sounds good to me. So it turned out I went to their office in Sausalito and figured out their schedule, and I was going to leave May 30th, so I decided to try to make it to their show in Houston on the 4th of July, 35 days later from Northern California. So I rode down the California coast, treacherous, rewarding, to San Diego, and then across to Houston. Made it there just in time. Call back, they're at the Hyatt. Craig Chiquiso's either under Craig Chiquiso or Bud Weiser, so I look him up. I call up to his room. He's like, oh, I'll be down in a little bit. So I go and I get an orange juice and toast, and that's so expensive I pretty much just stop there. And then Mickey Thomas and Brett Bloomfield show up, and they're like, oh, hey, you're that guy. So they sit down with me and buy me breakfast, and then Craig Chiquiso comes down, and then he brings me up to his room, and we leave my bike there, and then the manager says, hey, we're going to make you the guest of the day. Here's an all-access backstage pass. And so now with Starship, they're going to perform that day in Houston at the Houston Freedom Festival, which is a show played to 400,000 people because it's free show, free, you know, that's where their fireworks are going to be that night. So all of Houston is there on the banks of the Buffalo Bayou. Waylon Jennings, America, amongst other musicians are playing that day. And apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying that rock and roll had to be played during the day and only country could be played at night. So America played, and then was Starship's turn. So before the show, the guys are like, hey man, it's so hot and humid here in Houston, we need a break. Mind if we introduce you on stage? I was like, oh, okay, shoots. So you know, that was intense. And then Craig Chiquiso and I we walk around down into the crowd, and we meet this girl. He's like, let me find a girl to take our picture. And finds this cute girl, gives her my camera, and says, this guy just rode his bicycle here from California. She's like, yeah, right. I'm like, this guy's a guitar player, Starship. He's gonna be up there playing pretty soon. She's like, yeah, right. Anyway, she didn't believe either one of us. Took our picture together. That's one of the things that burned up in the fire, was that picture. So this is quite, I don't know, is cathartic the right word to tell you these? It seems to feel good, letting go, telling you about the things last time I want to think about them. So, and then also Craig Chiquiso had given me a Harley Davidson shirt. I wore a Harley Davidson cap as I rode across the United States. Makes it easy to get along with people. So I have, it's an MDA, muscular dystrophy ride, like charity ride, Harley Davidson ride shirt that he gave me. Wore that day on stage. And so there I was going to be put on stage, and like, what was I going to say? What if they gave me the mic? What would I do in that scenario? So the first thing I did was drink 4 beers and settle my nerves. And then and they had 2 trailers, you know, and I was in them just the same, and they were all full of all kind of whatever, so including beer. So I drink my 4 beers, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta think of 4 things. I gotta think of something to say. So I thought of 4 things, simple things I could remember, and that pertained to all the elements of what I was doing as I was riding a bicycle across the United States for a good cause, enjoying my freedom, 4th of July, rock and roll. So I said, freedom is great. Our children are our future. God bless America, and God bless rock and roll. And I gave him back the microphone. I didn't hear much. I think people in the crowd were saying to themselves, wait, who was that guy? Because I didn't hear much. Maybe I did. I was deaf at that moment. But anyway, there was 400,000 people out there. Biggest show Starship ever played. And I know that because of the end of this story. So stay tuned to the end of this story. Okay, so yeah, that was crazy. And then they decided, hey, we're gonna save money and get everybody out tonight. So Craig Chiquiso's like, hey man, we're taking off tonight. Here's the key to my room, which was the gold passport level at the Hyatt downtown Houston on the 10th floor. And Brett Bloomfield gave me $40. Said, here man. And anyway, super cool. And so I ordered a pizza to the room, and they said, would you like to put it on the room? I said, yeah, Craig, because, you know, Craig Chiquiso and Craig-Bradley are the same name, so thanks for that. And there's a wonderful Red Cross person. So, check it out. All right, and then there's more to the story that I can't tell you now. I'm going to save that. There's a big, kind of funny second story that goes after this. But anyway, we'll just stop that there. Now, 15 years later, I'm waiting tables 100 yards away from where I'm standing here at the Hula Grill. Who sits at my table? Mickey Thomas and his wife. Okay. I'm like, bro, of course you got to remember the guy that was riding his bicycle across the United States. Like, so I wasn't just some person he met that wasn't unique in a sense. So of course he remembered me. Am I not allowed to be making a video of myself?
No, not on our property.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
What
I'll
room
stop
are you
there.
in?